Thank you. So yes, at the beginning of this session, I said, of course, I was talking about the earth element, and obviously it's a very, very broad topic. Not only the dear planet that we're on, but also the energy of the earth that we can receive, and the nourishment, and the sensitivities of the earth. In that I mean the stillness and the balance and the transformation properties that when we tune in with the earth element, we can connect with that within ourselves. So yes, I said I was going to mention or maybe work with some of the body organs that are associated with the earth element. And they are spleen, stomach, and pancreas. So they're all in the center part of the body, around the solar plexus area. So this is an interesting correlation because, the solar plexus is a very, a very important, a very unique area in our systems. It's where our I am presence really is. I am a being of light. I am powerful. I am, whatever I say with the I am resonates here in the solar plexus. But this is also the area that we can feel like butterflies in the tummy, feel like anxieties, feeling like, things aren't quite right. And so I was outside this morning. I left the yoga mat out there last night to try to air out from the weekend, actually. And so there it was. I went out this morning. I just lay on it and looked up at the mackerel cloudy sky and just sort of sank into the earth and felt into this session here today. And my sense is would be really useful for us to look at assimilation and digestion. So this is not just of what we're putting in our bodies physically, like our food, obviously, but also around the information that is incoming and how we manage that, how we process that, and how we make sense of that. So that's the remit for this morning's session. That just having a look or having a feel into assimilation, that which makes sense to you, that which resonates with your elements of truth inside of you. So with that in mind, I'm raring to go today, I really am. So let's get up and boogie, shall we? Well, not quite boogie, but I think you know what I mean. Get up and get the chi flowing. I've got a nice form that I want to share with you. So this will give you a sequence to play with. But first of all, as ever, we are going into the Wuji, stance of primal energy. And getting the angles right so you can see my feet. Good. Live there. Just get you. So here we are in our Wuji. So that's our hip width apart position, toes pointing forwards, outside edges of the feet becoming parallel. Remember, it's the becoming parallel. You might find that you'll feel like the knees are dropping in if you are doing that. So you've got to adjust. You might have to have them out slightly for that to happen. So feet are work in progress, as in everything about us, work in progress, or play in process indeed. The spreading the feet out onto the ground. Doing a little bit of rocking. You know these adjustments that you can make. You've got it all there to sense and feel into. Oh, morning, Sam. I'm feeling your feet spreading out and taking up their space on the floor, which connects you down through the foundations and down into the soil beneath the foundations. And there you are into the earth, plugging in, planting in, settling in. So there's a nestling sense of just finding that place, as if your feet have got an earth shape that they slide into. You know, when you put on your favorite shoes, I do this in the summertime when I haven't worn my sandals all winter, my Birkies, and when I get them out in the summer and I put them on again, they're just molded to my feet because I've been wearing them for so many years. It's that kind of feeling of the earth, is that this underneath your feet, the energy of the earth molds the shape of your feet. So take a deep breath in. And when you breathe out, sink down into your feet, into the strength and power of the planet beneath you. And imagine your golden roots unfurling down through the layers of the soil, through all the pebbles and stones or rocks or clay or sand. Think of all these components of the earth. When we say earth, we've got all of that in there along with all the elements. So your roots travel down through the many layers, the many colours, the many qualities of the earth, anchoring and communing with the mother, plugging yourself in deeply, mindfully, and easily. It's like you watch this occur. You don't make it occur, you open for the possibility. And you may get a sense that although your intention is of sinking in, that the energy of the earth is coming up to meet you. There's a gentle, powerful force that is like, that's coming up. Do you want some of my powerful chi? Thank you, Mother Earth, thank you. You're bequeathing us with your energy and your power and your wisdom. And as your children, we give thanks for all the support that you give us and the tenacity of the planet to continually find ways of rebalancing and harmonizing, and that resonates in each of us, how our systems are wired for harmony and balance. So soften into this power that's coming up through your feet, now into your legs. And just see where you sense that is. And what I mean is, see what you are sensing on the receiving end. And get that, it's so weird this, isn't it? That it's the letting go. It's the surrendering and not minding. I don't mind if the chi wants to show itself to me today or not. I'm just going to sink in and know that this connection with the earth is a powerful place to presence yourself and to come into that now moment of being the breathing being that you are. Coming into your truth for this moment. And just checking with your internal architecture, that your knees and your ankles have got a bit of give in them. That your hips are finding that neutral position. Sometimes it's nice to stroke under the lower back to remind them they can just come towards a sort of tipping under, but not too much, just enough to make that a neutral position so the lower back opens. So you're actually flattening off this lumbar lordosis that we usually have. I'm exaggerating here, but you want to just let that soften so that this is flat and open because of this energy center here on your lumbar 3-4 approximately, your Ming Men. This is what this position helps us to engage with the gate of life. So we sit in the gate of life. Pretty powerful place to sit in, isn't it? And still, when we come into that idea of sitting back, we have to watch that the weight doesn't rock back onto the heels. So you may position yourself more in the back of you, but you also want the weight to be equally placed between the balls of the feet and the heels, with the opening of the bubbling spring, just like that, spreading out into the earth. Yeah. And this gives you a great foundation. As soon as I mentioned bubbling spring, there's the water element coming to go. Yes, that linking, that synergy with the earth and the water, or the mud. Maybe you should call it mud chi. No, but that combination of the qualities of support and buoyancy is always there for you to drop into and receive. Remember, the dropping in is your gift to the earth, and the receiving is the exchange for the old energies being released and the new being immediately received. Energy can't be destroyed, can it? It can only be transformed. I've just got that image there of years ago now, down at the beach with my lad, digging a hole in the sand. He gets in the hole and we fill it up to his waist, and he's there doing all this movement and stuff and laughing so much. I'm getting that feeling now. I mean, we were talking about red trousers up to the waist. How about actually being in the beach with sandy bottoms, shall we say, feeling really, really planted, but close to the water as well, but still having this movement, that you get this solidity and this support and this warmth as well. This warmth from being in the mother. You find that settling place. It just comes to you. This is really potent work at play here. This unraveling, this unfurling, this coming back to your true energetic nature. Being a being on the earth, powerful and supported, so that your spine can grow up from this powerful support in its flexibility. And apart from the flattening out of the lumbar lordosis here, it snakes up through its natural curve, sort of around the back here. There's a curve here, and around the shoulders, and it comes into the neck. And then we lengthen the neck, don't we, and draw it up from the crown, so that you have a lengthening here without a pulling back. We don't do any of that, do we? Oh no. At the very most, what we do with our shoulders is we let the shoulder blades slide towards each other, which has a very gentle opening effect of the heart and lets the shoulders land in alignment with the spine. Letting the jaw relax and the face also. Resting chi face, remember. Get a sense of when you relax the jaw, so the lips remain closed, but the jaw can relax down. And just notice what an effect that has down your neck and down into your shoulders. And as you come into this presence of being, your truth for the moment. You can allow your awareness to slide into the back of your brain, into the back of your neck, down the back of your spine, into the breadth of your back, the back of your buttocks, back of your legs, back of your knees. Into this vantage point of the witness bearer, the curious witness bearer. So that's this open, spacious place to be. Where you're aware that your arms are just hanging out of the shoulder joints. Think of how heavy your arms are. If you went to lift your arm up, they're quite, quite a weight on there. So let them be heavy. Let the elbows relax, and the wrists and the fingers and the hands and the thumbs. And sometimes it's nice to just twinkle them a bit. That's a technical term for slight movement. Twinkling the fingers. Because sometimes we're holding them, we don't even realize we're holding them. There's old patterns of tension. So we give them a little shake, a little twinkle, and let them settle again. That presence, beautiful. So with the Wuji set up, bringing your mind to your belly, checking that your abdomen is soft so that it can respond to the movement of the breath. And this brings your curious mind down to this area of potency and of process and of balance. But being aware of your center line, the center line that's coming down or from the stars, down through your crown, down your spine, how it splits off at the sacrum and then down both of your legs. Just have a little tune in. Do you feel balanced, or is one side of you feeling more open than the other? Or have you got a tightness in one hip and one shoulder that's opposite? So just being aware of how your body is feeling and what kind of conversation it wants to have with you, what it would like you to be aware of and listen to. And we're going to go through a few of our joint opening moves, and we'll come back to the Wuji and see how things move and shift. So last week we were looking at shaking our legs and preparing our legs in that way. This week I'd just like to do some circling of the legs and that kind of thing. So another approach to freeing up tensions, because remember we're coming into muscle tone, releasing tension, and what's left is the tone. So a very simple one to start with. Is bringing all the weight, let's say, into your left leg. So you can feel that center line now moving into the left. I'm not going to mirror you because it's just confusing. But you know what your left is. Doesn't matter if you've gone to the right, because we're going to go to the left again anyway. So I'm just starting with the left because that's what I always do. But feel that center line of integrity shifting now and checking in with the bubbling spring. So this is not about leaning. This is about positioning yourself with integrity over this center point of your feet. And as you lift the heel of the emptying leg, the weight can then come more across and be held in that central integrity. Now I want you to place your attention on your right knee and just begin to turn the right knee. And of course, what's happening is the foot is turning. You've got that rotation around the ball of the foot. Hopefully you can see that. You have to look at the YouTube, those of you on Facebook. I will post this one up because I've got my feet in view here. But you're getting the whole rotation going up in the hips, yeah? You feel that, yeah. And so the knee's leading the joints above and below it. And now I want you to channel your inner Elvis. I'm sure this is what he was doing, you know, he just didn't realise. He was doing his joint openers before he went on stage. So this is freeing up in the hips. Another way of getting into the hip joints and around ankles. Very nice. Let's take it in the opposite direction. Might feel quite different. Now, depending on how your balance is, you can even put a bit of weight on if it's feeling not so great, having your weight on one leg, or you can just roll it and flow it and find its own moves, freeing up. God, I wish I could see you. Well, I can see you, but I can't see what you like. Don't worry about it. I'm just kind of feeling in that you're doing what feels useful. Yeah, good, good. Shake that out, place it back down. For a moment, you're coming back into Wuji. You're noticing the difference between right and left now. Has anything changed? So what I'm noticing is more sort of space in my right leg and more sort of tingly flow in comparison to the left ones, feeling more kind of constricted and a bit heavier. And I didn't realize this until I just did that. It wasn't feeling, that wasn't coming into me as information until I did the circling hip unwind. So you may notice different things. Sinking back into the centered structure. Breathing into your belly. And as you breathe out, bring the weight now into the right leg, or the opposite leg to the one you were using. Up onto the balls of the foot, yes. And rotating from the knee, round and round. A few clicks may occur. This is an evening out of the energy in the joints, but also you might find that there's partly some of the rotation will feel really smooth and easy, and some might feel a bit juddery, or you might even be cutting corners. So you play with the amount of movement, the pace of movement. I mean, I've got a clicking in my hip here, which hasn't happened before. I know there's one in my knee as well. Interesting, letting the unwind spiral down, because everything is now being able, dislodged, all the tensions dislodged, and helter-skeltering it down your corkscrew energy channels down into the earth. Sometimes they're straight lines, sometimes they helter-skelter, as I say. But anyway, the energy, the wisdom of the energy, your energy makeup knows what to do. You're just unlocking and unwinding. Beautiful. Let's take them the other way. That's better. Good. Nice. Yeah. Okay, shake that out. And then bring both the feet together. This is not a classic Qigong, but this is something that is very useful to do. You're going to place the hands on top of the thighs. There's no pressure here. And you very gently turn the knees. And I say gently because we have to deeply respect our knees. And this is just about doing circulating movement to get that center line back, playing nice again. Just feeling into what that's like for you. Easing it round. Again, more clicks can occur. Do about 9 and then take them the other way. And then spiraling that back into center and just letting your head hang, then your arms come off your body. Still a little bit of give in your knees there. You're in a mini monkey forward bend, just letting the arms release and the head also. Notice how balanced you are and how the little movements of stabilization in your legs and your ankles are working to keep you steady. And then slowly let the body come up, the spine come up. Last thing up is the head. Breath in, replacing the Wuji. Letting everything settle. How does that feel now? So staying with the settling, the reconfiguring, the presence of your center line, and how does that feel in your legs? So you're becoming more open, more spacious. This is the quality of the earth element, to feel spaciousness on the inside. This is the sense we get when we reduce the tension. Tension is held, it's like hard and full of lactic acid and angst. So when you unwind that, there's more space for this fresh, abundant chi to come in to nourish you, but also to help you sort of like enjoy being in your being, really, how this feels. Checking in with your dantian. If your mind wanders off, this is the place to keep bringing it back to, with the curiosity. Is like, what is that in there? If you want to plant a little tea light flame in there, or a little bead of light, or a crystal of light, there's a beckoner back in to like, how's that doing? How's that feeling? How do I feel when I presence myself in my belly here? So we're building up the foundations of base chakra, sacral chakra, that all support the solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye. So if you have anxieties and worries and feelings of butterflies in your tummy and your solar plexus, then hang out in the lower ones beneath it, because this is what's going to support the energy in the middle of you. You know, we are like an energetic filing cabinet, and there are places that we can go to help support the areas that are having to deal with more information, shall we say. So we're going to do a combination of a couple of the opening movements that you know, and this is the shaking and the spinal turning. So we're going to start off with the shake. We're going to let that build up, go a bit spontaneous. Then we're going to bring it back into a center line, half bob, and then bring in the turning as well. So that'll keep us entertained. So have a little shake out, and don't forget to drink. And of course, I've got my golden water here. I've also got some spring water from the spring up in Wales, which is just the most amazing water I've ever drunk. And it came out of this rock. It looked like a yoni actually, and it was, but all these different rock stratas, and it was a real like a horseshoe, like holding, and you go towards it, and there would be this reverence of the earth giving its water, and you put your bottle under it, and there would be this magical kind of exchange going on. This is the natural way of receiving water, and the blessings on the water, and very special. So I have put a bit of that back with me, and I'm using it for like anointing purposes and blessings. So I'm getting distracted with the water. We will be diving deeply into the water element over the winter time, but I'm going to introduce it into the next 6 weeks, because I think air and water together are going to really help us to manage what's happening. You are not going to go stay present with the earth, because the earth, all this work we're doing in this course is the foundations for the next one. So we can't do anything without our earth connection. So being in your Wuji and letting the shoulder blades slide again, so that the heart opens, activates the renmei, the descending channel, center line. And presencing yourself in your back, activates the rising channel. And you being drawn up from your crown by a piece of silver elastic up to the stars, because you're going to need to bounce now. So into the belly, letting this bouncing begin. This bobbing down, 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 down. Starting off very gently as you ease into, how's this feeling? Taking some deep breaths in through your nose and sighing out through the mouth. And then letting the breathing find its own pace. Just check you're not holding on your belly. Sometimes when we're focusing on things, we hold our breath. We're keeping with that rhythm and that ease and that shaking on down. Again, from this center line perspective, noticing how your body's responding to this. Knowing that you can lean in and let a shoulder release a bit more and an arm relax. Bring that back to center. So this is handing over to your body. How can the shaking help to unwind the tensions that you're noticing? Always aware of the center leading the whole show, but knowing that you can do little movements that help the shake to get into the tension, the held areas. So making it your own. I think it was at you, Sam, last time you were doing some shoulder rolls with this. I really like that you can free up the shoulders in a very easy kind of way with the shake in there as well. You might find that the wrists want to have a go. So yeah, hand it over, just a couple of minutes. Shake your body down to the ground. Yeah, while singing a little song to yourself even. having some fun. So not only are we shaking out tension from the muscle groups that we're aware of, we're also creating a vibration in our body that gets into the deeper areas, like around the body organs. So we mentioned spleen, stomach, pancreas, center of the body. Being aware of them blobbing up and down. And the covering. So each organ is covered in fascia, which really is a bit like nature's cling film, for want of a better way of putting it. So it's very thin, but it's very strong. And it can get ruckles in it and get, if you don't move much. So we're also helping the fascia to smooth out so that each of the body organs is held with an integrity, smoothness, and calm, so that they can do their functions well. So bringing it back into center line, Bob. See how that feels. And bring it into half speed. So we're down to a little trot now. And keeping the usefulness of this bounce to keep the hips, knees and feet in alignment, you're going to let the shoulders turn from side to side. And the arms swing. And feel yourself turning from your waist, but also feel yourself turning from around spleen, stomach, pancreas, so that up a little bit. So the whole central section of the body is turning. And this is, you think about it, it's the thoracic vertebra from here and here that do the turning. So this is from the waist, solar plexus, heart, chest. And with this gentle bobbing as well as the movement, you're now getting in deeper to that fascia and the organs to unravel some of the hidden away tensions that might have been there for quite some time. Arms just land on the body where they do. Keep going, coming in. That's it. Good. Yeah, nice. Remember to use your head, that's it. So the eyes guide, I know I tend to be looking at you when I'm doing my stuff, but we want the eyes to be guiding around to the side as well. Nice. So easing up on the shake so that the turn takes over. And letting the arms wrap around the waist. Connecting with the center of your body. Again, helping more tension to be released, more energy to flow. Oh yeah. Of course, you're tapping on kidneys at the back, but you know that. You can feel them. The ease, you're never pushing this movement. Let it find its own pace. You know, the power is in the repetition. What's coming into our practice here is ensuring this repetition comes in to give you these patterns of health, patterns of managing your health. So imagine that you're standing outside in the golden sunshine. And you're receiving this down to the top of your head, into these body organs as you bring this movement into stillness, and you bring the energy up into spleen, stomach, pancreas. So this is just literally bringing the light energy and the chi into the center of the body, whilst being deeply connected to the earth and your dantian. Some sun sweetness, this relationship that the sun has with the earth, acknowledging that, and that within you. You shine the light, shine this powerful light of our star into our deepest recesses. The pancreas is very deep in the body, to the back of us and across the whole center of us. It produces many enzymes, and it's particularly to do with blood sugar levels. So when you bring in this golden light, you bring in a sweetness and an appreciation into here. Spleen on your left is to do with everything held in the right place. So it's like the center of the spider's web of all your body organs. And with that comes its integration of the different chi in your body. So the nourishing chi from your food mixes with the nourishing chi of the earth and the breath. So it's to do with digestion of all these different components that are coming in. As I said at the beginning, how do we assimilate the information coming in from all these different forces or places, or we come into that presence of stillness, emptying of receiving, and then discernment. What I want to keep, what makes sense to my system, and what can I let go of that makes no sense at all, down into the earth or out into your breath. And just letting those visualizations go, and just noticing now the practical aspects. How do my feet feel, my legs, my hips? What's that center line informing you now about what you've done so far, and how that has brought you hopefully into more of a sense of centered balance, connection, and resource. Let your hands float up into your holding the ball in the lower position. The palms directly connecting in with the dantian. Seeing this golden space area as the resource and the support for solar plexus and your earth element organs. Softening the shoulders, lengthening the neck, being in the back of you. Easy arms. Just checking the thumbs aren't up. Thumbs need to be relaxed. Fingers released. Little bit of space between each of the fingers, not hugely, just a little bit of air around each of the fingers. And the center of your palms pointing into the dantian, so that's something to kind of sense and play with. As you're extending, you're tuning in with the energy field of the dantian. It will be a place of settling. and softening and gathering. Feeling this gathering and the energy pooling here in your belly. It's very easy to be interested in what's happening around the hands and in the front of the belly, and that's certainly a component, but this energy elixir, this field, travels all the way around you. Be aware of that presence of your lower back, that breadth of your back, that Ming Men, gate of life area, all being enhanced and activated by this building up of the Qi in your Dantian. And traditionally, the color here is golden, so you can let some of that golden sunlight come in and merge with the liquid light energy from the earth. Yeah. And see if you can let yourself be in stillness at the end of an out breath. Very nice. You can stand here for 20 minutes if you like. So if you're watching on playback, pop it on pause and let yourself bask and beam in this place, because it will serve you, it will show you. So imagining that the moment that we're in here is expanding without any time constraints. So we're in the quantum field of all possibilities. We're going to move into a sequence now of gathering into the upper Dantian, into this belly Dantian, and into the base chakra, or what's called the Dang Dantian, D-A-N-G. I know, I don't make up these words. But just before we do that, let us run our great wheel of Qi as a circulating and integrating and clearing form. So this is a great example of a simple movement that has a lot of components at play. So let's breathe in and open the palms to the side, picking up the Qi and connecting into one another. Beautiful. Serene power, my friends. We're going to lift the energy of the earth up as we breathe in. Merge it with the energy of the cosmos at the top. As we breathe out, slide the hands down the center line. Slightly facing in, slightly facing down. So there's this sort of, you'll feel that sense of tuning in, because you're clearing down the length of your body. Down, all the way down to the base chakra, where that continues to travel on down there, down the legs and into the earth. So that's the clearing form aspect of it. As we come into breathing in, lifting up, we're merging the energies of heaven and earth and letting them pour down the center, but like we did with our dropping the Qi ball down the center line last week. Basically, you're having a clearing and an energizing movement. You might like to sink slightly as you come down to the base. And breathing in and up, circulating. So I'm going to tell you all this intellectual stuff to feed the mind. Because the mind loves to know what's going on, but also it's the intention, it helps it to activate more. But with you and your chi presence, this is what will be going on anyway. Feel the energy rise up the back and travel down the front, clearing, freshening. And of course, helping to move the shoulder joints. So as you're doing this, physiologically, let the hands lead the movement. So the wrists and the hands lead up, the wrists and the hands travel over. So my shoulders aren't up here. It's all the hands come over and they kind of, yeah, bit of a ballet dancer position there, any of those who've done ballet. So there's a softness there. There's not a reaching up. There's no need to reach for the cosmic energy. It's already cascading down. You're communing with it and activating with it. So there's this softness in this power. It's so Qigong, soft power, gentle power, true power. Keep it going. Working with the rhythm of your breath. If you need to take any extra breaths, of course you can. That's it. Clearing. A little bit of rise and fall if you're feeling that. This just it's a response of the lower dantian, of when the energy is being drawn down and clearing, there will be a natural dropping and sinking. It doesn't have to be huge. It's like part of the breath, the expression of the breath, breathing in and lifting up, lengthening the legs, not quite stretch, locking them, and then breathing it back down. Let's do 3 more. And on the next one down, I want you just to bring the hands into the crossed hand position at dantian. So as you know, this is the respectful way of bringing the energy back home. Earth is my home, my body is my home. Gathering. So while you settle here, just be here for a few breaths now, let everything settle. I'm going to show you what we're going to do next, and then I'm going to talk you through it. So you don't have to join in with this bit, just watch what I'm doing, okay? I'll turn to the side slightly. We're going to gather 3 times into each of these places, and the gathering form is slightly leaning, gathering in, nourishing upper dantian, sliding that down to that holding the ball place, and then coming back down to a neutral position, and then coming forwards, gathering in. So say I will go through all this with you. Second one is just gathering into dantian. I say just. This is an awesome move. But it's quite simple. There's a slight leaning forwards, gathering in, and then back. Now the last one is a little more complex, but we can do it. I know we can do it. Hands come up, they're like a water wheel, gathers up to the lower, the dang, beams into the qua, takes the hand round to the kidneys and Ming Men, and then releases back to here. Again, I will talk you through all of this, so let me show you again what the flowing movement is. Once more. Always do this in sets of 3s. Training, it should be 9, but 3 is good for now. And I'll be quite mechanical about this because it's one we're going to revisit again. And we finish with the great wheel. And it pauses at the dantian. So how does that look? Want to play some chi sequences? Let's have some thumbs up. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this session actually is always an hour and a quarter, by the way. So even though it's 10 o'clock, it always goes on to 10:15. Had you noticed that already? Yeah, you probably have. Okay, so this is stage 1. And again, it's going to be on the replay. Oh, the joy of replay. So you'll be able to get into it again. So from the Wuji. Yeah, do you need to see my feet? I don't know if you do. You need to see my arms. I always could do these technical discussions with myself there. So I'm at an angle so you can see what I'm doing from the side as well, but obviously you want to be straight on and the movements are all centered. So we're going for the third eye with this one, and we're gathering in. And when I do this, I actually kind of connect my middle fingers in with the third eye, and you may even like to touch it just to bring that awareness in. So mechanics of this is a gentle dropping into your center, and this stops you from coming too much forwards. You're going to hinge forwards about 30% from your waist, and you're going to get the arms be led by the front part of the arms. So you're in this sort of position like that. Yeah. Is that enough there? Sideways one. We're then going to draw up the spine. The middle fingers come in towards the upper dantian, comme ça. And then they slide down to our belly beam position that we know and love. It's like bringing anything extra home. And then we're back to a neutral position, Wuji. So we're sinking, gathering, drawing up, sliding, and back to neutral. So here, I generally breathe in and breathe out to here and here. Forwards, gathering in, dropping. Keep it going. Forwards. I'm trying to watch you as well. That's it. Great. Good one. One more. So just pause there for a moment, see how that feels to have nourished your upper dantian with light. And let's do a similar movement, but gather now into navel dantian. So this is the same, sinking, leaning, gathering, but now the arms are lower, obviously. And as you draw in, the lengthening up of the body is what helps to draw the hands in. So again, effortlessness here. And then into neutral. Again, sometimes the subtlest ones are the most powerful. So you're lengthening, breathing in. Exhausting that whole area all the way around. Sinking, gathering. This is nurturing your kidneys big time. All the stress and anxiety stuff. Bringing in the light, the nourishment of the earth. One more. Pausing for a moment, see how that feels. Now we're going to scoop from the earth. The hands just come to the front of the body a little bit more. The wrists lift up, and then the whole lot sinks and you lean forwards and you scoop up the chi from the earth like you're scooping up water, drawing it up, placing the palms in front of the groin, the qua here, and then sliding around, taking the energy round to the back. So we've got a lion's mouth here, which is a classic Tai Chi position. But it's letting the energy pool at the kidneys and Ming Men in between the fingers here. And then you release them back to the belly ball, of course, where else? And then back to neutral. A little more complicated this, but you can do it. Hands to the front, the water wheel, scooping up from the earth into the qua, down in the qua, and then taking the chi round to the back. I don't know if I've got enough of that position like that, so it's flat, and the thumbs are at the sides, holding that energy there. And then you release them and bring them back. There. So there's loads going on here, which I'm not going to go on about right now. We're going to just learn the mechanics and play with it. Bringing it up and in, beaming, nourishing. Taking round to the kidneys. Releasing into the front. And then back to neutral. What I generally do here is breathe in. And breathe out as you take the chi to the kidneys. You'll find your breath supports the movement, however that makes sense to you. There's a water wheel and it's a gathering up. Pulling it at the base of your body and then taking that power to the kidneys. But also, as we're doing earth element, we're bringing it up into the spleen, stomach, pancreas area as well. Moving the chi, deep nourishment. Powerful foundations for whatever it is you're going to be up to today. Another couple. Last one of this round. Very nice. Now we do our great wheel. And as it comes down, just letting it pause at the dantian area. And then continue on and around. So it just gives a chance for the energy to gather and collect. That's lovely, just running with your own breathing rhythm, integrating everything we've done here this morning. Owning your power as a being of light. And that you've built your foundations for the rest of the day and week to run on. So let's complete with our ooh sound, sound of the spleen or the stomach earth. Deep breath into your belly and your lungs. Again. Now one time, without making the sound, but imagining it. Letting the hands come back to the open position at the side, letting everything settle. Gently gather in. So this is a gathering movement, like we just did, the gathering around and back in to Dantian into your cross-hand position. Owning it all, giving thanks for all of that. Rubbing your belly, absorbing this sweet nourishment of the earth, an activation of your internal elixir, power and magic. Make a wish for yourself for today. Breathe that wish into your belly. As you breathe out, giving thanks to the earth. Very nice. Let's do our formal closing where we bring the weight into the right leg, open the palms, lift them up, left foot comes in, hands into prayer gesture. Give thanks to our spirit guides and angels and connections and benevolent beings that support us as well. We offer any extra energy out into the world for the greatest good for humanity at this time. And see this sparkling all around each and every one of us, connecting in the quantum field here to bring some goodness in, some goodness and some light and some possibility and personal power. Good. Thank you all for being here on the call. Those of you on replay, #replay. I don't know why I'm saying that, but yeah, go well, my friends. Have a really good day, and I'll see you on Thursday at